Hello everybody, it's Bani and Maria. We are back with another lesson, and this lesson this week is on reflection because I have been doing a lot of reflecting this week.
Good for
And
you.
yeah, it's good stuff and so important, and I feel like it's important that we share this with you because when you take the time to reflect, self-reflect, there is potential for you to really increase your growth and grow exponentially from it. So I'm going to use an example that I had with my own growth over the past couple years, but most recently with my new executive coach. And I was uncovering things in my executive coaching sessions of where I could get better as a business owner and a leader and feel, most confident. And there were certain things that were coming up during those sessions that I realized I felt about myself or about myself as a business person. And what she encouraged me to do is when those feelings were coming up in different situations was to make sure that I spent time self-reflecting, right? Mm-hmm. Reflecting on those situations so that I could kind of, the way she explained it was like bring it up to the light, right? We have these feelings inside of us, whether it's inadequacy or anger or insecurities or whatever areas. We all have areas to grow, right? And when we uncover those and we actually take the time to kind of bring those out into the light and work on them, they have the opportunity to go away, right?
Yeah.
And you become a better person. So I know it's so good.
That's such a good point too, because you're saying, like we have a tendency, we want to bury them, but then they're not. It's almost like if you don't bring a plant into the light, it's not going to grow without the light. We'd rather keep it in the darkness so no one knows it and we pretend we don't. But
yes.
That's good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
So the self-reflection piece. So what happens is if we don't take the time that when we are triggered, when we have those feelings come up, right? If we don't take the time after to sit in a little bit of quiet and self-reflect on it, we don't have the opportunity to grow from it.
Yeah.
I noticed for me, I grew exponentially when I spent the time to reflect. I didn't just let the feelings happen and then say, oh, there they are again, and yep, that's what I've been working on, and okay, on to the next thing. I sat back and I said, okay, this is what I've been working on. I need to spend time thinking about this, reflecting on it, and understanding where is this coming from? How can I change it? How can I look at it differently? Really spending the time with that. And it helped me so much. So I know that you and I have talked about this before, and you have a great acronym that you want to share with our team, our friends here.
Yeah, sure. So in the mindfulness practice, they use an acronym called RAIN, the RAIN process, RAIN of self-reflection. So if you could write this down right now, if you've got a pencil or pen. So the R stands for recognize. So you're going to recognize how you were feeling. What got triggered? Were you mad? Were you embarrassed? What it was. So be willing to recognize that. And then the A is to accept it and acknowledge it and be like, okay, it is what it is. I accept and acknowledge it. I felt that way. It's okay. The I stands for investigate. So then that's where a little bit more reflection, where you go deeper. Well, why did I feel that way? Without our tendency to put the blame on because they did this, but what in us got triggered? What insecurity or what fear? So investigate. Why did I react that way? Why did I feel that way? Without any criticism on yourself, no judging yourself about it, like not making yourself wrong in any way, but having awareness. So that's the I for investigate. And then the N is for nurture. It's something really hard for us to do in our culture, nurture ourselves, but just to stop and say, what do I need right now? What do I need right now? In a nurturing and compassionate way. It could be, to just close my eyes and take a little breather. It could be to take a walk around the office, maybe, or how can I nurture the situation? Maybe, I feel like I really want to go and talk with this certain person and just clear up some miscommunication I think that might be there. How can you nurture yourself and respond mindfully in a nurturing way to whatever just happened?
Yeah.
Great process.
Yeah, really good
hope
process.
you can give that a try this week.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and you'll just be astounded if you're ready to grow, right? If you're ready to break through some barriers, to use this process of self-reflection, because I do know that that's one of the biggest things even with my clients is, well, how do I do it? Like, you're telling me to self-reflect, but how do I do it? So that's great. Thank you so
You're
much for
welcome.
sharing.
My pleasure.
And we will see you all next week.
Bye-bye.